here.
Woo!
We finally have time to start the brand new show, ClutchTown USA with Nick LeBlanc and Devin Taleghani. Devin, my good man, how are you?
Dude, it feels like it's been a long 2 months, man. I've missed being live and talking to all you guys, going on our rambles, on our rants and whatnot. But we are here, we are live, and we're ready to talk some smack about the terrible Boston teams. Why not?
Why not?
On a hot streak right now with the Red Sox losing in Game 6 of the ALCS.
Yeah, so that's really one of the focal points we're going to focus on here today. Kind of just recapping the season that was a combination of awesome, disappointing, embarrassing, wild, crazy, what the F moments, the whole thing. We're going to go over the last 6.5 months of baseball that we were blessed with this season after the 60-game joke of a season that was 2020. And just two things. A, we had a joke of a team. And B, it was a joke of a season.
It was. You and I never expected the Red Sox to go to the ALCS at all this season. Mm-hmm. Not at all.
I didn't even think they'd make the damn playoffs.
No, because we were just talking about this not even 2 months ago when the Red Sox team all caught COVID. We're like, this team has no hype, no level of whatsoever, no faith, no courage, no nothing. And it was true. This team had, no one in the dugout that was screaming, hey, we need to wake up. We need to score some runs. We need to do this. There was no leadership like that came through August to now. There was no true leadership in that clubhouse or in that dugout. No one showed it at all. There was no, David Ortiz speech. There was no Chris Sale yelling at all the players like he did in 2018. There was no firepower in that Red Sox dugout, and that pisses me off to this day.
Look, after the season opening sweep by the Baltimore Orioles, I pegged this team to finish dead last in the American League East again behind the Woolly Orioles. And let's just see what transpired after that. Well, the Red Sox went 92 and 67 the rest of the way. And the Baltimore Orioles quite literally went like 40-something and 110. So there you go. There you go.
Exactly.
That just proves that opening series sweep was an anomaly. It didn't even matter.
Exactly.
But we look at this team though, and from the second series of the season against the Rays, which was really when the real season began, because the first 3 days of the season were an absolute pathetic dumpster fire.
Basically.
You look at from the first Rays series all the way up towards the All-Star break. This Red Sox team looked poised to make a long championship run. And then the wheels just seemed to fall off the wagon in the last 2.5 months, but you rally out in the last weekend of the series against a team that you should have swept in the first place anyway. After losing 2 out of 3 to a team in which you should have swept
easily.
So, and so the Red Sox had a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs, especially that one-day wild card against the Yankees, who were heavily favored.
Yeah.
You kicked their ass right out of the playoffs. Then you go into a series with the Rays, who, again, were heavily favored. After game 1, you kicked their ass out of the playoffs. Now it brings us to the Astros. Oh, how they are the villains of baseball, and they're just like a thorn in your thigh that will not go away. And this Astros team, I mean, look, credit to them. They've overcome the whole cheating scandal phenomenally. They're like, hey, yeah, we cheated, but we're still here. So that says one of two things. Either A, the players the players didn't really need the cheating to begin with in the first place, as they're already naturally good. Or B, the American League just flat out sucks. I'm pretty sure it's option B. I'm going with option B here, that the rest of the American League just flat out sucks.
Exactly. I kind of had a feeling, game one went to the Astros. I wasn't really surprised by that. So I was like, okay, so every time the Red Sox lost an ALCS game in game one, they went on to win the World Series. So I'm thinking, okay, we got this series in the bag. We lost game one. We could win the next 4 games. Did that happen? No.
Close. Almost.
Half.
We got about just about a little over halfway there.
Exactly. So here's the thing.
Thank you, Laz Diaz.
Oh my God. I mean, Nick, don't you have a feeling that the MLB wanted this game to go 6 or 7 games? They weren't going to let the Red Sox win it all at Fenway Park.
I think the series would have gone 6 or 7 either way. But that Laz Diaz call in the 9th inning of game number 4, that changed the whole complexion of the series. And frankly, I think it just killed the Red Sox. And I think it just dropped their morale, because then the Astros go on to score 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning. They win 9-2. The following day, they come back in, sock you in the mouth again, and they win 9-1. What happens last night? Your offense gives you a measly 2 freaking hits. Astros exploded in their final at bat, and you lose 5-0. Congratulations, you just got outscored. What was it, like
23 to 1?
23 in the last. This is just the last 3 games.
Yeah.
If you include the 2 runs that the Astros got prior to that 9th inning, you got outscored 25-3 in the last 20 innings of baseball.
Exactly. And here's the thing: the Red Sox scored,
and you can get away with that in the regular season. All right, because okay, we got the next series to look forward to. We can get right there. Newsflash, Red Sox, you're done. Dunzo, done. You're not going to play a meaningful game again until March 31st.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, but they got spring training. No one gives a rat's ass about spring training.
No one even watches spring training.
No one gives a rat's ass.
Sure, I'll watch the first game to see how these, minor leaguers can do.
I only watch spring training when I'm at the radio station working the game, because there's nothing else on television.
Exactly. It's just like preseason in football. No one really cares until the last game of the season.
No one cares about spring. No one cares about spring training, the first or the last game. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares about the NFL preseason. It's just literally an event to go to, get you out of your damn house during the summer.
Yeah, and it's a cheap ticket.
No one cares about preseason hockey. No one cares about preseason basketball. The preseason in all 4 sports, if you want to include soccer in there too, I don't know if they have a preseason or not. I think they do. No one cares. No one cares enough for preseason. It's like, it's just the preseason, whatever, something to listen to. That's what preseason is for all sports. It's just something to turn on as white noise. And, if you want to peek over and see who's doing what, sure. But does the end result matter?
No.
It does not. Look, I'll keep tabs on what the Red Sox are doing with spring training. Because typically for spring training, you don't even see the regulars play until the last week and a half.
Basically.
By then, they just want to get the regular season started anyway. Spring training in baseball is way too long, first off. It's just way too long.
Exactly.
You don't need 30 freaking preseason games. Cut that number down to at least 20 or so, and let's get the ball rolling here.
I mean, here's the thing. The Red Sox need a lot of offseason work to do. They need pitching. They could either lose J.D. Martinez or Kyle Schwarber. You can't keep both of them. One of them has to go.
Schwarber's another free agent. Martinez has a player option. Vasquez, Richards, one other guy have team options. I've got Eduardo Rodriguez is a free agent. Adam Ottavino is a free agent. Iglesias is a free agent, although I have a feeling that Iglesias is here to stay, so I'm not too concerned about Iglesias.
I'm not too concerned about Iglesias or JD. I think both of those two are going to stay. Erod, I don't know if I'm the Red Sox. Maybe you look past him and look for an actual starting pitcher.
Erod's an actual starting pitcher. It's just you don't know what you're going to get from him. No, 2018, he was a mixed bag. You didn't know what to expect from him. He had to have one good outing, have a good outing here, and then he'd just absolutely suck the next time. So, with Erod, it's this, and we saw this again in 2021 here this year. From when Eddie came up, and what was it? 2017 is his first official season as a starter?
Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere around there. We got him from the Orioles, so that explains everything right there. One start, he'd go 6-7 innings, be a solid guy. The next start, you're lucky if he got you 3.
Basically.
You just get shelled.
I would bring Erod back, but maybe sign him to a 2-3 year deal.
I'd only bring Eddie back on a 1-year deal. Prove it or lose it.
Yeah, because I can't imagine him being anywhere else. I really can't. Unless the Red Sox want to.
Well, we've said the same thing about how many athletes have walked through this door here in Boston, and they've ended up signing elsewhere.
Right.
Damon and Ellsbury, for example. We're like, oh, these guys are never going to leave. They go on and sign with the damn Yankees.
Right.
Damon, who won a World Series with the Yankees in 2009, which ended up being his last year in New York. Then Ellsbury just had an injury-plagued Yankee career, and the Yankees pulled the plug on him. I don't know what the hell took them so long.
I've never heard of Ellsbury ever since that stint.
No. He played maybe two and a half full seasons healthy, and then he just got injured and he just could never get on the field.
Exactly. Unlike Damon, who won 2 World Series, one with us and one with the Yankees back in 2009. When the last time they were in the World Series.
Yep. So let's look at long term here. Long term, who's in better shape long term right now, the Red Sox or the Yankees? I'm going to go the Red Sox.
Yeah,
I think the Red Sox are set up better long term than what New York is, because New York, they've invested so much into this team, and all they've gotten out of it is 2 division titles, and then just getting your asses absolutely handed to you twice in the LCS by the Astros.
Yeah, and they haven't been in the World Series for over 12 years since the last time they made it.
A team with the highest payroll in baseball, and from 2017 really to now, you've had the highest payroll in baseball. And all you have to show for it is 1 division title.
Yep.
You've lost twice in the LCS.
Basically.
You've lost twice in the LDS. Oh, and you've also lost in the wild card game. And let's just make it all worse. Put the cherry on top. You've lost to 2 of your division rivals in the last 5 years, in 3 of the last 5 years. Twice to the Red Sox.
That shows you something.
18 LDS, the Red Sox beat you in 5. And this year in the wild card game, the Red Sox smacked you around like a dirty rag towel, and they won 6-2.
Exactly. And the weekend before that, the Yankees swept us, and we were thinking that the Yankees could definitely do that with that 1-game wild card.
Yeah. The only saving, and entering that game, you and I looked at it, so it's like, well, the only saving grace is this game's at Fenway Park and not at Yankee Stadium.
And we've won the season series against the Yankees 10-9, so thankfully for that.
Yeah, thank God the tiebreaker came into play there, because the Red Sox and Yankees finished the identical 92-70 records. Red Sox got the benefit of the home field advantage because of, as you said, the head-to-head. Because and also a little interesting here too. If it came down to a 4-way tie between the Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays, and Mariners, the Yankees chose the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And probably because the Yankees felt, oh, we can beat these freaking losers. We
Nope.
beat them nine consecutive times.
Their pitcher couldn't get out of the third inning.
We'll just do it a 10th consecutive time. Red Sox
Exactly.
is like, okay, you want us? Here we are.
Their so-called ace pitcher couldn't get out of the third inning after allowing 3 runs.
Yeah, basically the Red Sox. This is what the Red Sox did to the Yankees. Slapped right across said, we just slapped you right across the face. Go the F home.
That's what we basically did to them. I mean,
hey, thanks for coming for the one night out to give everyone a show. We'll see you in April.
I mean, a very interesting scenario here is that Carlos Correa, after this season, he's a free agent, and he's listed that he's wanting to go to the Mets and the New York Yankees as potential teams that he could sign with. That kind of scares me. If you have Carlos Correa,
please
Yankees,
go to the ugly stepsister of New York, which is the New York Mets.
Well, I mean, that's puts an interesting scenario.
And I mean that in a very kind way, Eddie, for any Met fans out there. I mean that in a very kind way. But it's also true. You're the ugly stepsister of New York to the Yankees because the Yankees have been there longer than the Mets. The Mets were technically a expansion team.
Exactly. That puts us in an interesting scenario for the Mets if Carlos Correa does sign with the New York Mets. What do you do with Francisco Lindor? Do you shift him over to third base? Is Carlos Correa playing third?
You see, that's where I think that would be a really good issue for the Mets to have. You got 2 guys that are capable of playing on that side of the field. Playing third base should be no problem. Converting one of them to a third baseman shouldn't really be much of an issue. And really, for both guys, I would welcome that because especially in the National League ballpark, especially in the National League, you gotta have any really good bat in the lineup as you can. So you move Lindor or Correa to third base, which frankly it shouldn't be much of an issue, really. It's just 60 feet in the other direction. You're still throwing it to the opposite end of the diamond. Only difference is at more of an angle. You just gotta set your feet better. That's all.
Exactly. Because imagine this infield right here: Carlos Correa at third, Lindor at short, and then you have Javi Baez playing second and Pete Alonso playing first. Imagine that infield as the Mets. Oh my God.
That is a dream. And if you're a Mets fan, you're salivating at the mouth right now. But you're also thinking this: how can we screw this up too?
Because the Mets, they find a way somehow.
The Mets are the first team in baseball this year to lead the division at the All-Star break and still miss the playoffs.
Basically, I mean, the big question is: will Michael Conforto sign back with the Mets? I think he will be.
I think so. I think the Mets, the Mets are going to do everything they can to try to keep a really good core there and also try to build because, pressure's on them. The pressure's on the Mets to finally start to do something because the Mets haven't done anything realistically good since they went to the World Series in 2015 where they got their brains beaten in by the Royals.
Exactly, because if you have a situation where you have Carlos Correa sign with the Mets or with the Yankees, what are they going to do with Gleyber Torres? Are they going to shift him back to second base, or are they just going to trade him away for ruthless money?
First off, if Correa goes to the Yankees, like you're screwed. You are the definition of screwed if you're a team in the AL East.
Yeah,
the Rays, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. You look at that and say, crap, here we go again. And then there's the Orioles and be like, yeah, we're just going to lose 110 games at the end anyway, so what difference does it make?
Exactly. I mean, you put a scenario like that, say if Correa doesn't sign back with the Astros, because I've read many tweets saying that he's, figuring out, he wants to be in the East Coast. What does that mean for the Houston Astros? Does that mean that their team is on a rebuilding stage and they're trying to figure things out? Does Jose Altuve want out too? Well, what happens with Bregman? Do they stay on the team?
I think the Astros are in a very serious predicament here. I mean, here's the thing: if the Astros win the World Series game, maybe Correa changes his heart and stays with the Astros. We don't know. I mean, we won't know until the season actually ends. I mean, frankly, I'm hoping the Braves wrap up the NLCS tonight, just so that way I still have a rooting interest in the World Series. I'm sorry if it's Astros Dodgers.
I'm not watching that.
If it's the Dodgers again, and it's the Astros again, no, that's just. It's like you're giving me the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors year after freaking year in the final series of the season. It's like, no, give me a little bit of freaking parity here. That's why I love the NHL playoffs. You got all this parity here. The NFL, once the postseason hits, you don't know who's going to make it, even though we kind of have an inkling who's going to represent the NFC this year.
Which we hope that doesn't happen.
Hoping, as fans of the game itself, we're hoping it doesn't happen, but knowing our luck, everyone prepare yourselves. You're probably going to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again.
If it's Tom Brady versus the Bills, this will be the first time I'll be rooting hard for the Bills.
Oh yeah, it'll be the first time I'll ever root for Buffalo. The first time I'll ever say, let's circle the wagons, Buffalo. And if the Bills win the Super Bowl, I'll jump off and break a table.
Oh my God. I've always wanted to experience that. I've never seen it happen before, but it'd be kind of fun.
If I ever see it, I want to have an ambulance on standby.
We'll have 911 on speed dial for you, buddy.
Yes, 911. I think somebody just broke their back.
Yep, someone's out for the season. Ah, dang.
I dare see if I try to do that on hard concrete, I'd end up in the hospital.
Oh my God! Imagine if it's Ravens versus Buccaneers. Jesus Christ! You know who's going to be cheering hard. Well, I don't even want to think about that.
The Ravens in the Super Bowl. Ugh, that makes my stomach turn.
I mean, unless Lamar can actually beat some teams in the AFC.
I mean, he's beating the Chiefs this year already.
He has, that's true, but come playoff time.
I wouldn't rule it out for the Ravens. I wouldn't rule it out, but there's still plenty of football left to be played. We still got every team still has at least another 10, 11 games left.
I just really hope it's not another Bucs versus Chiefs every year. I really hope it's not that when it comes down to it.
I mean, I kind of now understand where people are now coming from. It's like, oh my God.
Now we understand why our friends hated us so much every time they heard, oh crap, it's the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
It's like, oh my God, the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Oh my God. Old news. If Brady goes back to the Super Bowl again this year, I'm like, okay. It's like, okay, now I understand where everyone's got aggravated. I'm sorry.
It's like, hey, when you're diehard Patriots fans and you have the best quarterback in the league, you can't complain about that if you're on the other side. Now when you're on the other side, it's just like, oh, now I understand why people hated Tom Brady so much as a non-Patriots fan.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now we understand why you hated Brady and the Patriots.
Exactly. It's just like, here's the thing. If he wins it again, Nick, what else does he have to prove? Seriously.
He had nothing to prove last year anyway. The only thing he had to prove is to see if I could shove it up Bill's keister, and he did.
You know what quote is actually very interesting?
If Brady just wins it again this year, then he's just adding insult to injury and just giving Bird another double bird.
You know what team I can actually see that could be a real contender, and that could actually be Tom Brady, because when they played them first this year, they came pretty close. The Dallas Cowboys, and I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. I'm not saying that.
Oh no! I mean, you look at teams in the NFC. The Cardinals could beat the Bucs. Yeah. The Patriots could beat the Bucs. The Cowboys could beat the Bucs.
Well, I mean, we saw what happened last year, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, last year's last year. All right, last year's ancient history. So, but I'm just saying though, the NFC is a very tough conference, and also let's be frank here too. When Brady is with the Patriots, let's be honest, the competition level of the AFC is pretty pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see where people got always aggravated, like, oh my God, it's the Brady and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Oh my God. It's like, well, your team hasn't figured out how to beat them yet. So what do you want them to do?
Exactly. Don't talk to us now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, until you figure out how to beat them,
fair chance.
yeah, it's like, I want to say like, well, every team is beatable every week, which is true.
Yeah.
It just turns out that for 20 years, the team practically sucked.
Yeah, basically.
And really the conference as a whole stunk.
You're not wrong about that.
But now you look at it, the first year post Brady in the AFC,
Mm-hmm.
the AFC had a lot of good teams, and the NFC sucked. Because you had a team win the division at 7-9, and surprise, surprise, it came from the NFC East of all divisions.
Yeah.
And and you had like two teams finish, and you had one team that made the playoffs, and the Bears finish 8-8. Like,
basically.
Really. And you look at the AFC side, the Raiders who were like 10-6, the Dolphins who were 10-6, they're not in the postseason, but teams that are 8-8, 7-9 are. That just goes to show you the strength of the conferences.
I mean, now that I think about it, like right now, you know how you and I were talking way back when saying, if the Patriots drafted Justin Fields, he could take the Patriots to the playoffs. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm so glad we drafted Mac Jones because I really don't think he's the guy that can bring any team to the playoffs. Like, now the Bears.
You look at all four quarterbacks that were taken before Mac Jones in this past year's draft. Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, and Fields. Fields is still finding his footing. Trey Lance just needs to get healthy because of his knee and just pray that Jimmy Garoppolo breaks both of his ankles, which is very likely possible. I'm not going to rule that out because Jimmy Garoppolo's broken glass is a Tony Romo of the modern NFL.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded during this trade deadline. That's going to happen soon.
I wouldn't either. Zach Wilson's just flat out in a very terrible organization.
And he was a second-round draft pick in the first round.
Yeah, it's a second overall pick. And then you got the first overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, who, no fault of his own, he just has an incompetent offensive line. And along with an incompetent coach who's trying to treat these guys like they're a college team. You freaking floop.
It's just like I was expecting Trevor to do a lot better than he is right now, not making his team go 1-5. Because if you're really expecting him to be the leader of your squad, and this is what he's doing to be that first-round draft pick, I'm not really excited about that if I'm a Jaguars fan.
Yeah, just circling back to baseball right now because we got a little sidetracked. We'll talk more about in football in just a couple minutes here. But overall, we look at the broad picture of the Red Sox. You had to say this was a successful season that came out of absolutely nowhere that no one expected.
Easily. I mean, here's the thing. Am I upset that we lost last night? I am. But
I'm disappointed in the way that it was just no effort. Look, I'm not surprised that the Red Sox lost the series. Okay, I was not shocked that the Red Sox lost the series. I wasn't even shocked that they lost in Game 6. The fact that we got to Game 6 of the ALCS, I nearly crapped my pants.
No, the fact we were even in the ALCS, everyone's probably shocked about.
Yeah. So, the wild card win against the Yankees was awesome.
Yeah,
the LDS domination from Game 2 on against the Rays, awesome. Great. I just feel a little bit better about these last 2.5 games of this series.
Yeah.
If there's just a little more effort.
Here's the thing. If we would have lost last night 5-3 or 5-4, I would have been satisfied with that. I would have been like, hey, they actually have some faith and some oomph in them, but no.
In Game 4, Game 4 back at Fenway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're down 9-2 in the 9th. But bottom of the 9th inning, you cut that to 9-6 and you lose 9-6. It's like, okay, there's the fight. You fought back, but you fought back. You still lost, but you fought. You fought back. Game 5, same thing. If you lost that game 9-5, 9-6, it's like, okay, you fought back. You just kept pushing yourself on until they delivered the knocked out blow. Last night last night was a knockout blow, but as you said, if they lost that game like 5-4, 5-3, or even if they tie the game 5-5 and you lost that game in 10 innings, 6-5,
Yeah.
it's like you fought until the bitter end. I feel a lot better about it, but no. You just puked all over yourselves in the last 20 innings of well, last DS has something to do with it in game 4, so I'll give game 4 a bit of a pass. But in the last 18 innings of baseball,
yeah,
1 run on what? 5, 6, 7 hits max?
That's
you only
terrible.
got 2 last night.
That is terrible.
It's worse than terrible. It's pathetic.
It's unreal. Like, as a Red Sox fan, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
It felt last night. It felt like I was listening to either the Portland Sea Dogs try to play at the major league level, or one of the lower level A-class teams. It was just pathetic last night listening to it on the radio.
I mean, I have some questions for some Red Sox players. If you guys are listening, do you guys do batting practice, or do you guys not know what a strike or a ball is? When there is a ball that looks completely in the dirt, what in the heck are people thinking when they're like, "Oh, he hit this one out of the park, Babe Ruth style. Look at that." Oh, Griffey Jr. That like, what are you saying at?
Well, that's been the Red Sox issue for a while now, and it's an issue that's just not going to get fixed. Thankfully, there's about 4 or 5 dopes on all the other 29 teams that think that a ball like 10 feet into the freaking ground that's on its way to freaking China is a hittable pitch. Thankfully, 29 of the other teams have a good handful of dopes that are like that.
I mean, the one person / player I'm really disappointed in this, the CS, DS, and wild card, Hunter Renfroe. He didn't do anything.
I was more disappointed in Renfroe in the LCS. LDS wild card is like, okay, fine. LCS, dude, where in God's name was your head?
I thought he was going to be that player in the regular season where he clobbered 33 home runs. Where was that Hunter Renfroe?
Looks like he was in freaking La La Land.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, do you know what planet you're on, dude?
I mean, yeah, he got a couple hits, but I want to see hits over the green monster, some grand slams, some freaking 3-run shots, not some witty ground out or a high fly ball that barely gets out of the ballpark. Like, regular season Renfroe just went away.
The Red Sox offense went away at the absolute worst time.
After that Rafi Devers home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, that was the last we've ever saw of the Red Sox offense besides the Bogart's 2-run shot and then the Devers solo. That was our last offense.
Those are your last 3 runs of the season over the course of 3 games.
Yeah.
You got sucked in the mouth 25 to freaking 3 in the last 27 or so innings of baseball.
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable run by the Red Sox. I'm glad they got to this point, but they just need to keep on practicing. Like, seriously.
It's like, okay, we're happy that you got to this point. We're happy that you gave us a lot of bonus baseball. Thank you. But at the same time, we're also glad that the misery is over. Like, oh my God, good grief.
Like, if there was a game 7 tonight, I would have expected us to probably lose 7-2.
If it got to a 7th game, I still would have been satisfied. I was satisfied with the LCS appearance.
Yeah. 2 walk-offs against the Rays. I really had some high hopes for this team. I was like, hey, we are 8 games away from winning a World Series. But no, did that Red Sox team give us anything after that?
After game 3, I felt that this team had a real shot to win it all again.
Yeah.
And it was looking good through most of game 4. Nick Pivetta and Chris Sale in games 4 and 5 at Fenway Park deserved a lot better than what they got. Pivetta got the no decision. Sale got the loss. Both pitched their asses off. Both deserved a much better fate than what their offense gave them. Lack thereof of offense.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
It felt like a one in the last 2 games when the Astros scored first. The rest of us like, oh, that's too much. We can't come back. We can't come back from this.
We surrender. Oh, 1 run. Kike Hernandez drops a high fly ball. That's a series.
Here's the white flag. We gave up. And that's just how it felt the last 2 games went for me. You gave up.
Yeah. After that game 3, I thought just like you said earlier, I thought the Red Sox had momentum going, to game 4 and game 5. I was like, we could easily win this one.
The series changed. I mean, you turn around, you see that the series changed based off of 2 calls from 1 man. Laz Diaz, game 4, calling a third strike call on JD Martinez that was 3 feet out of the zone, and then calling a ball at the letters in the strike zone on the Astros.
Yeah.
That is when 1 man changed the game, and he wasn't wearing the uniform of either team.
That's why we are going to be having robot umpires very soon. Don't be surprised if that happens.
I think robo-umps are going to be just as bad. Trust me, that experiment is going to fail miserably.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
That'll fail just as miserably. But let me ask you something, though, Devin.
What's up?
And this is a question for Major League Baseball in general. Out of the 99 umpires that you had behind the plate at one point or another this year, why the hell is a guy who is in the bottom tier of said group, like of the 100 umpires, why is the 96th ranked umpire the home plate umpire in a playoff series? His ass should be at home on his freaking couch.
Yeah. I feel like the MLB just wanted, the Astros to tie the series. That's probably why.
I love what the NFL does with the officiating crews. I love it how they do like the best of the best from the season. Even though the best of the best are just as brain dead too, but that's besides the point anyway. Take a page out of the NFL's book. You take the top 25 umpires from the regular season. You have those 25 do the playoff games.
Yeah.
You take the top 25 and you have them do the playoff games.
That sounds like a good plan.
It's simple. It's so, and there's 7 man.
So easy. Simple.
7 man crew. So you got realistically, including the wild card games.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 4 rounds. So 7 each game / series. So there's 2 games. 1 series, 2 series, 3, 4. Championship series 2. World Series 1. Take the best 63 umpires that you got, put them together, off you go.
Yeah, basically.
Whichever 14 umpires ranked, do some more math here. I just love math, and I can't do it off the top of my head. That's why I barely passed it. If you ranked anywhere between 49th and 63rd of those umpires, you're doing the wild card games, and then that's it. Your season's over.
Yeah, basically.
Well, if you're 1 through 48, you're doing the LDSs. Then after that, you take the top 28. Or no. You take the top 14 of those guys. You send 1 to the AL, you send 1 to the NL. And then you choose the whatever. But however the way you want to do it. I really don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
But if you're ranked 1 through 63, you get the postseason. Anything below 63, your ass is at home. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah. You and I could be better umps than these bozos here. I could have called that a strike 3. I would have called that a ball easily.
Laz Diaz is a freaking moron. I hope Laz Diaz never umpires another Red Sox game for as long as he lives.
Him and Angel Hernandez. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. If you gave me a choice between Angel Hernandez or Laz Diaz, I'd rather gag myself with a spoon.
That's a better way to put it than what I would have said.
How would you put it? Okay, Devin, if you had a choice between Laz Diaz or Angel Hernandez, what would you want?
I'd rather hug a tree, thank you.
I'd rather go see a Buffalo Sabres hockey game.
That says something right there.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, like both of those two like combined, you put them at first base and home plate. Wow, you got a blown series right there.
Oh God, don't even put those two in the same umpiring crew. Well, you're at that point you're asking for the stadium to be burnt down.
Basically, you know how many replays we had to just sit there and be like, "Oh, here we go, another review." Jesus Christ, Angel Hernandez. Oh, he's out, double play. It's like, no, when you clearly look at it, he's out. Thank you. Or no, he's clearly safe.
All right. Let's move on here to Bachelor of Football talk, and let's just now talk about the Patriots.
Yes,
and just slowly the Patriots here. 2-4 through the first 6 weeks of the season, and the New York Jets are coming off of a bye week, coming into town.
Now, we should get our first win at home. We should be 1-4 at home. We shouldn't be 1-4. We should be 3-2 at home. Hypothetically.
But the Jets have played in London back in week 5.
Yep, and they lost to the Falcons.
But they've had roughly 14 days.
Yeah.
They watched you play against the Texans, in which you nearly lost to Houston.
I want to talk about that.
They watched you play the Cowboys and just watched your secondary get absolutely torched.
It seems like we were too tired by the second half.
For the second straight week, your secondary gets torched. Only difference is Dallas has a competent quarterback. The other dude in Houston looks like Peyton Manning's forehead. Only the difference is on his neck.
Exactly, and we were getting beaten out by practice squad wide receivers, basically.
So we look at this week. Would you label this a must-win for the Patriots?
Basically, these next 11 games are must-wins. All of them.
Even let's just focus just on this 1 week here. Because, about 1 week at a time. If you lose to the New York freaking Jets, you don't deserve to beat anyone.
No.
If you can't beat these sorry Jets, who you picked off 4 or 5 times a month ago, if you can't do that again, you have no business trying to beat teams like the Chargers, the Browns, Panthers,
Falcons,
the Bills, the Dolphins. No business.
No business at all.
Only difference is, and we think, and your only saving grace is your offensive play calling is incompetent, and your defense is fully incompetent play calling and execution. Your only saving grace is that the Jets are just as incompetent, if not more so.
Exactly. Here's the thing. We picked them off 4 times in New York, which is great, against Wilson. We better have that same day. Tomorrow better be a field day for Mac Jones. He better be throwing like 5 touchdowns and having no picks and throwing for 400 yards. That would be a complete field day for Mac Jones.
It should be. I mean, again, it's the New York freaking Jets.
Who do they have that scared you? Corey Davis? That's it.
Oh my God, Corey Davis. Oh my God, he's so terrifying.
I'm surprised he even went to the Jets. What was he thinking?
Corey Davis did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we guarded him well.
He got like what? 1 catch?
One catch for like 10 yards. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, I'm so terrified of Corey freaking Davis. Oh my God, Devin, Corey Davis scares the absolute living bejeebus out of me. Oh my God. How are you going to stop Corey Davis? How are you going to stop that very incompetent Jet offense?
Exactly. No running back that I've ever heard of. Their tight end, I don't even know who is it. And their wide receiver with Jamison Crowder and Corey Davis are the only people I know.
Oh my God, so scary.
The former Washington football player. It's just like this team does not scare me at all. Shouldn't be.
They shouldn't, but could they very well come in here and take advantage of your sorry, pathetic defense and beat you?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, and I bet money on it. I bet money on it.
You know, Matthew Judon better have like 3.5 sacks tomorrow.
Last week, under Bill Belichick, this has never happened to him before until last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up nearly 600 yards of total offense. 567 yards. You let Dak Prescott have all day. You got no pressure on him.
Didn't even sack him.
You didn't come remotely close to sacking him. He had a field day with your secondary.
You had that one fumble in the end zone, that one interception, and that was it for turnover.
The Cowboys could have put up 50 points in that game. You held them to 35 because of the mistakes that they made because of their idiocy.
Exactly. You really did. And here's the thing. If
you outcoached them, here's the thing. Yeah, the Patriots outcoached the Cowboys coaching staff because look who they're – because you have Dan Quinn and Matt McCarthy and Mike McCarthy. There you go. Two dopes. And, you know, you didn't lose this game because you got outcoached. You lost this game because you got outplayed.
It seems like our defenders got tired during the second half, too.
Even so, Prescott was lighting them up in the first quarter.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb was lighting it up after that touchdown in the end zone.
The only guy who I did not hear much all day was Amari Cooper.
I think he had like one catch and that was it.
Yeah, and frankly, because CeeDee Lamb is better than Cooper.
Yeah, obviously.
So, if the Patriots lose to the New York Jets next week, it's really going to say a lot about this Patriots team.
You mean tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Next week, next year, whatever. If you can't beat the Jets tomorrow afternoon at 1:00,
season's over.
You have no business even trying. Finish 2-15. Get a draft pick that you'll probably trade away for a second round pick. 33rd overall, you draft some schmuck out of Dean College. Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And for the record, I loved my time at Dean College.
Oh, I did too.
Just a friendly little jab joke, like nothing personal.
Yes, exactly. I mean, here's the thing.
For now, anyway.
We have to be walking out of Gillette going 3-4, and we don't want to walk out going 2-5.
If you're 2-5, heading out to LA, where you're going to face a very, very good Chargers team, Justin Herbert's going to have a field day.
And here's the thing: we played Justin Herbert last year, and we upset them. Well, not upset them. We shut them out, 45-0.
But Herbert's improved, and so has that Chargers team.
Well, I mean, they have improved, but they lost 34-6 to the Ravens. So I don't know if that's improving or decreasing.
Their record's better than you. Their offense is better than you. Their defense is better than you. The Chargers are better than you in all aspects.
I mean,
Sam Darnold, who's in Carolina, who's turning back into Sam Darnold, by the way. He can lead a more competent offense than you can make a play call, Josh.
Basically. Here's the come up with better play calls. Here's the thing.
Question is, when are you going to take the training wheels off?
You need to rely some trust on Mac Jones on 4th and 3 or 4th and 1 if you're Bill Belichick.
What are you doing? Bill, Josh, when the hell are you going to take the training wheels off the kid?
Yeah. Let him go.
This isn't 2001 where you could baby Brady into the NFL offense.
No.
The league was vastly, superiorly different from when Brady took over for Bledsoe.
Yeah, basically.
10, 20 years ago, you could get away with coddling Brady, protecting him. You could get away with it at that time.
And here's the thing. Do I really
penalties are that benefits the quarterback nowadays?
Yeah.
Mac Jones is already protected out on the field because of the penalties. Just let him go.
And here's the thing.
Enough of these stupid dip and dunk passes. It worked 20 years ago with Tom Brady. It's not working in 2021 with Mac Jones.
He just had his biggest throw not even last week to Kendrick Bourne for 75 yards. They finally let him sling it after, that terrible pick six by Trayvon Diggs, and I was thinking the game's over, but next play.
And then they went right back to screen passes.
Yeah. Like, stop with the screen passes. Like, come on.
The screen passes aren't working. The dip and dunks aren't working. Do you want to know why they're not working?
Because the teams are figuring them out.
Because the defense is expected to have the same freaking playbook since 2012.
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback in 2012?
Oh, a guy named
Tom Brady. The only reason why the offense was successful is because Brady beat the defense 95% of the time. Mac Jones isn't at that level yet.
Not
which
yet.
Is fair, but how is he supposed to learn if you have the training wheels off and you're coddling him like he's a freaking infant?
They're still not going to do that.
No, they're not. And they're going to baby the crap out of Mac Jones this year. By the time they let Mac Jones finally let loose, you're going to be like 3-10.
Yeah.
It'll be too late.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, you win the final 4 games to finish 7-10. What did they freaking do? Bill Belichick should still get his GM status stripped, which I'm hoping he does. Hire a legit GM.
Yeah, Bill as a GM has not been working out the past couple of years.
And frankly, I think Bill the coach, his seat could get warm if he loses to the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think not only should Bill worry about his general manager status, he should worry about his job as a whole.
His job in general.
I'm sorry, you go out and spend almost $250 million in free agency to be 2-4 through 6 weeks and worrying about if you're going to lose to the New York effing Jets. I'm sorry, if you lose to the Jets, Bill Belichick is on the hot seat. I'm going to call it. Bill Belichick will be on the hot seat.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. But here's the thing. I feel like the Patriots need to look at this trade deadline coming up soon. They need to get some new weapons and some new shiny toys out there. I know they already did that in the offseason, but we just need some more players out there to win, to hopefully make us a playoff team, whether it's this year or next year. I really feel like we need to do that.
You win this week, and then you beat the Chargers.
That
sets you up at 4-4. Make a move for someone who can catch the freaking football.
I feel like Harry's going to be out of here soon. They're going to trade him for like a pass rusher.
He can't run a freaking route to save his life. And then when he does, he can't get open. And then when he does get open, he couldn't catch the coronavirus if it landed into his hands.
Exactly.
Ay, caramba.
I mean, the Patriots, they need to look for a wideout. I know I've been talking about this the whole time. Get Golden Tate. I don't know if you're a fan of him. I don't know if you would want him on the team, but I feel like Golden Tate is the right way. Him or Fitzgerald. He is still not signed out there. He hasn't made a choice.
You need a slot guy.
Yeah.
So Golden Tate fits that. Could you get Larry Legend as a slot guy? Yeah, maybe. A slot receiver position is not bad.
But he beat your number one.
Oh, absolutely. Edelman was a slot guy. He was your number one.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if Edelman was healthy, would he be making much of a difference in this offense?
Maybe.
Play-wise, probably not. But it'd have a huge influence on Mac Jones. That is the one thing that is killing Mac Jones.
Right.
He doesn't have the veteran receiver in Julian Edelman there. Now, again, that's not Jones's fault. It's not Edelman's fault. Edelman got an injury that he just couldn't come back from. And he chose the right time to get out now because he knew that if I keep trying to push this, I'm going to end up on crutches like Pedroia.
Yeah.
So, and believe me, I'm pretty sure him and Pedroia had a very long talk before Edelman made that decision.
Probably.
So I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, here's the thing. Patriots need to get some wide receivers. Maybe get a running back. Maybe get Marlon Mack from the Colts. Would be a huge thing.
Oh, yeah, you need a running back.
Yeah, you need a running back. Tight ends you're fine with. Hunter Henry's been his favorite target now that he's been targeting. Give Jonnu a couple more days, and maybe he can become the tight end that he was with Tennessee. But feed the ball to Bourne. Give the ball to Kendrick Bourne more. It seems like, here's the thing. If Nelson Aguilar never dropped that pass in overtime, we would have won because there was nobody out in the secondary.
And please, for the love of God, if Jacoby Myers finds the end zone this week, don't get a stupid holding penalty to negate it.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my God, this is Jacoby Myers' first NFL touchdown. And it got turned back.
And they're not taken away.
Yeah, he's never even touched the end zone. Only in celebrations. That's the only time he's touched it.
And 2-point conversions. That's it.
Yeah. 2-point conversions don't count. He needs an actual NFL touchdown. He's been the third down guy.
And I'm hoping he does. He's a very good wide receiver. Very good.
Yeah. I hope they ball out, tomorrow afternoon with him. He's going to probably score 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. Would be nice.
All right. Let's go on to the game picks for week 7. We're up against it. All right. So week 7 has already started. The Browns beat the Broncos last night. Thursday night. And what frankly was a bit of a snorefest of a game. The Browns won 17-14.
I mean, it was a close game, but very boring if you were producing it.
Close game, but a snorefest.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get it all started off here. The 2-4 Washington football team goes to Lambeau Field, take on the 5-1 Packers. Washington's has allowed 31 points per game this year. That's most in the NFL. For that start of a defense, that is shocking. But that plays perfectly in the hands of Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going the Packers in this one.
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Easy win.
What's that, Devin?
I said I'm going with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Easy win.
Okay, your audio cut out for a minute.
Oh.
All right, so the Jets and the Patriots. The Patriots have won 11 straight games against the Jets. I'm going to the Patriots here because it's the Jets.
You better.
But if you lose to the Jets, I'm pulling out all my freaking hair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. Mac Jones has a field day, goes for 5 touchdowns, 400 passing yards, and we walk out of New England 3-4 going to LA.
And first win at home, please.
Right.
The 3-3 Panthers go to the Giants, take on the 1-5 G-Men. I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this one.
This one is going to be a coin flip here. I'm going to go with the Giants. They're going to get their second win of the season, 2-5.
Sad thing is, too, the Giants have scored 31 plus points in each of the last 2 games against Carolina, and they still lost.
Yeah.
The 3-3 Chiefs take on the 4-2 Titans. The game of the week here. Derrick Henry already has 783 rushing yards this season.
Unreal.
The Chiefs need to win against a legit opponent, so I'm going to go KC in this one.
I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans. I think Julio has a breakout game. Go Titans.
The 2-3 Falcons playing the 1-5 Dolphins. Both teams rank in the bottom 5 in scoring defense this season. If you need defense to rely on your scoring, that you're already a pathetic team anyway. But you know what? I'm going to go the Dolphins in this one. I think the Falcons find a way to choke away a lead late.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. I don't want the Dolphins to win another game, so I'm going to go with the Falcons. I feel like the Falcons are the better team in this one. Kyle Pitts is going to have a great game.
Another good game this week. The 4-2 Bengals. 4-2. Who the hell saw that one coming?
Wow. They could make the playoffs potentially in the AFC.
The Bengals have matched the win total from last season, so there you go.
Yeah.
The 4-2 Bengals playing the 5-1 Ravens. This is going to be a good game.
Oof. I'm going to go with the upset with the Bengals. I think they upset the Ravens.
I'm doing Bengals too. Let Joey cook.
Please give it a chase.
The 2-4 Eagles visit the 4-2 Raiders. I'm going to know the Raiders in this one. The Raiders are just the Raiders' offense is so much better than Philly's offense, especially now that they trade away Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles are going to win this one. This is a home game for the Raiders, so I'm going to go with the Raiders.
In their first meeting since the offseason, quarterback swapped the Lions, who are 0-6, take on the 5-1 Rams. As much as I want to see Matthew Stafford just absolutely give it to the Lions and give it good, screw them up the butt. I want the Lions in the upset.
No way. Oh, my God.
I'm going to go the Lions in the upset. Lions get their first win over the Rams and Matthew Stafford.
I disagree with you, Nick. The Rams are the better team than the Lions. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they are the better team. The Rams will get win number 6, I think it is, of the season.
I just don't want to see the Lions go 0-17 because then I'll really feel bad.
Are you a Lions fan now? What are you?
No, I just hate seeing a team go winless throughout the whole season.
You're just too nice, man, of a sports fan.
I am, but it'd be a massive upset though. It'd be I like the underdogs this week. I'm liking the underdogs this week.
It would.
And that's why I'm liking the underdogs this week. So that's why I'm doing the Lions. I feel lucky with the underdogs.
You could be right.
The 3-3 Bears since the 5-1 Buccaneers. I am not favoring the underdog in this one. I'm doing Brady and the Bucks.
Actually, Nick, the Bears did beat the Bucks last season, so I'm going to go with the Bears underdog being the Bucks.
The only way I'll change my pick to the Bears is if Nick Foles is starting for the Bears.
Well, actually, Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown are out for the Bucks, so those are two key players out for the Bucks. So it could happen. You only have Godwin and Evans to help you out.
Only if Nick Foles is starting.
I hate you. Oh my God! Let's just message Pat Nagy. Hey, can you put in Nick Foles for this game so Nick can choose the Bears beating the Bucks, please, so we can agree on something for once.
The 1-5 Texans visit the 6-0 Cardinals. I know Cardinals continue their undefeated season.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins runs all over that pathetic Houston defense.
AJ Green has a great game today. Go Cardinals, go. I have them underdogs for the Super Bowl too.
That is an underdog that you should definitely keep an eye on for.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, the 2-4 Colts visit the 2-3 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be starting that game for the Niners. He's back from injury, but he's going to be without his left tackle. So go figure. He'll get hurt again. Oh, Trey Lance is out too with the knee injury.
Oh my God! So who would they have if he gets hurt?
The punter.
In that state, I need to go for the 49ers. I like their punter.
I'm going Carson Wentz to the Colts.
I got to go Colts too, man. I don't think the 49ers have it.
Monday Night Football, the Seahawks and the Saints.
Ooh.
Seattle's going to be without Russell Wilson until maybe week 10, maybe a little.
Wait, is this
longer.
the first start of Cam Newton on the Seahawks?
That I actually looked at that signing was not an official one.
Oh,
so Newton's still out there. So, but a quarterback matchup though between Jameis Winston and Geno Smith it's not a bad matchup.
I think I'm going to favor the Saints on this one. I'm sorry.
I had to favor the Saints too. I mean, as much as Winston's good for an interception or two a game, he's leading a very good offense, a very competent offense. And and no disrespect to Geno Smith.
No.
The Seahawks offense just looks a little lost with him under center.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
They're scoring.
Yeah.
But just not at the rate that they would be with Russell Wilson.
Now, if this was Russell Wilson starting at quarterback, I would have flipped that and said Seattle could easily win it. But no Russell Wilson for the next 2 months. So I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah. So teams that are on a bye this week is Pittsburgh, Buffalo, LA, Jacksonville, Minnesota, and Dallas. So congratulations, Patriot fans. For the second consecutive week, an opponent have 14 days before they play you, so they'll have plenty of film on you.
Oh, yeah.
So
lovely.
There you go. There you go. You're screwed either way you look at it.
Basically.
All right, this wraps up episode 1 of ClutchTown USA. Devin and I will be back next Saturday to talk more football, more Red Sox off-season stuff, and next week we'll get into both Bruins and Celtics as well. And we hope to actually have an intro for you.
We will. Don't worry. Hopefully.
But for now, though, me and Devin, sayonara.
Peace.